Good morning, Club at Horseshoe Bay members. Today I would like to talk about something that some have accused me of leaving out 2 or 3 weeks ago when I did a video on long putt drills. And I talked about the drill where you take 2 balls and choose a hole from 30 or 40 feet away and try to make it your mission to 2-putt both of them going and then 2-putt returning. The idea was to keep you focused. But what some people have said is, Bobby, I work on that drill and that's a fun drill, but I'm plagued with this problem of always leaving my long putts short. People who leave their long putts short often don't have that problem with any other club. Their chips get to the hole, their pitches, their bunker shots, their full shots. But when it comes to long putts in particular, and even their short putts always get to the hole, but the long putts present a challenge, and here's what it is. For the most part, putting takes place within about 30 feet of the hole. Now, not all putting, but for the most part, that is the distance that most people spend most of their time both practicing and playing. You do have longer putts, but that doesn't make up the majority of your time like the putts inside 30 feet. Now, that's part one to that. Part two to that is the putting stroke itself. You put yourself in a position to discourage wrist action, so right away you don't have the benefits of wrist. That would be a power source. You're trying to do everything you can to keep your hips out of the shot, another power source. The putting stroke considerations made to develop a stance are just there to take power out of it and consider only things that have to do with precision. And so what most people do is they develop a putting stroke that they feel comfortable only taking it back to around the length of 30 feet. And from 5 feet, they make one size stroke. From 10, a little longer. From 15, a little longer. From 20, a little longer. But once they get to 30 feet, that's about as long as their putting stroke will ever be. And so when the putt gets to be 40 and 50 feet, most people are guilty in this particular. They take the putter back the same distance as though they were going to hit a 30-footer and then just try to swing hard. And that is add unnatural acceleration. And this adds a problem. When you add unnatural acceleration, that is some of your own muscle, then what do? Well, you have to employ the muscles in your shoulders and your biceps and triceps, your forearms, and then your wrist. And what happens when you have contracted muscles? Contracted muscles are also short muscles. Short muscles don't hit the ball squarely. You sort of half top it in a phrase, if you can imagine that. And what happens, if you've ever jumped on a trampoline, you know that you get the best jump when you jump in the middle of the trampoline. When you jump over on the edge, you might lose 20% of the bounce. Well, the same thing with your putter. Imagine having a 40-foot putt, losing 20% of your pop, and so you only get 32 feet as a result. And so here's what I want to say to you. If you will go out and you'll practice this, first take a few practice swings. And think of it along these lines. Think about time and a half, the length you're comfortable. So I've got myself about a 40-footer here. And I know that I don't need this amount of backswing and this amount of follow through, but I'm going to rehearse that much. Why? So I can open up the alleyway of free movement. And so that while I may not plan on swinging all that far back and all that way through, I'll at least go farther back and allow this thing to get farther away from home than I normally would. And let's see what happens. I just want to be free swinging. Allow it to go back. Allow it to go through. And there's number one. Let's see what happens with number two here. Again, I want to always appear to be getting the ball to the hole effortlessly, not with effort. And so if you ever feel like you must hit it hard, then right away you've already forgiven yourself for taking a short backswing. Take it plenty back, so that you can get the ball to the hole effortlessly. Anybody watching you should observe, wow, what an effortless stroke, even though he hit it 40 feet or she hit it 50 feet. Again, nice, long, and flowing. And if I'll take it back on my practice swings, time and a half the length that I consider to be the right amount. Not for the purpose of actually doing that, but just to open it up a little bit. Make it more free swing. All right? And from there, only good things can happen. And so let me say that again. The problem with long putts is you simply mishit the ball because you're taking too short of a backswing, which leads you to need to unnaturally accelerate, which contracts your muscles, which makes you top the shot. The only way to ever have a free-flowing stroke and therefore hit it right in the middle of the putter is to take plenty of backswing so that the club can gradually accelerate on its own, free of any need for you to jump at it. All right, I know that'll help you. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.